Jimmie, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. For folks who are watching this whole interview on Rudy Blair Entertainment Media, rudyblairmedia.com, we were actually supposed to do this interview last week. You, my friend, day off, traveling. Man, do you ever get a break? Because if you're not performing, you're traveling. If you're not traveling, you're doing interviews. It's like, man, this is your time, but wow, talk about busy.
Man, I try to stay busy for the most part. I love it, but every now and again I do travel. Sometimes when you're traveling, you can't always rely on your service.
Oh, I hear you on that, man. But again, congratulations on all your success, awards, this new album that you've got that we're going to talk about with some collaborations and stuff too, man. When you think about where you came from to where you are today, because let's face it, man, you are a storybook. Broke, struggling, and to being in the position that you are, and not just being one of the best performers out there and songwriters, country artists, groundbreaker, so many things that you are doing and representing right now. Again, it's an amazing story. How does it feel when you look at the beginning to where we are today?
Um, it's it's pretty crazy, because I very seldom, you know, kind of just stop and think about everything. But kind of when I do, it's pretty crazy when I look back and see kind of how the music journey started for me in Nashville, um, versus where I am now, with 2007 moving to Nashville and, living in this trailer with no electric and living in my car and then like going 2, 3 days without eating and, working 3 jobs at once, sleeping like 3 hours a day. It's pretty crazy, when I think about it. But, my father always taught me that, hard work and persistence is always rewarded. Um,
Absolutely.
it,
I want to jump in very quickly because I want to start really from the beginning with that love of music, where that came from, and who your influences were in the beginning.
yeah, musical influences, right?
Yeah, but the love of music too. Where did that all begin for
Yeah.
you?
For me, the love of music was my parents. My dad couldn't sing, but he liked music. My mom sang. My mom sings. My sister does. My brother sings. Um, but yeah, I think just my family. Like we all love music. Nobody really did it for a living, um, but music was definitely appreciated. It was used all through the house, um, at school. So it's kind of just something that's always been there.
You talked a little bit about your experience moving to Nashville. Was there ever a moment in time where you were just like, I can't do this anymore? Maybe this isn't in me. It's time for me to go home and just live a regular life.
Nah, never, man. It's I always saw this for myself. I didn't know when it would happen or how it would happen, but I always knew it would. I kind of look at it like just putting my time in, like someone that wants to be a doctor. They got 4 years of undergrad, then in grad school. You figure they got they got medical school. Like it takes like what 10 years to be a doctor, like something crazy, 8 to 10 years. So that's kind of how I looked at my musical journey, 8 to 10 years. And I feel like I knew if I put the work in, and worked on not only my craft but always like meeting new people as well. I knew eventually one day I would get an opportunity, and it was going to be up to me to be ready when the opportunity came.
Where did that opportunity come from? Where did that happen? And how did that help circulate again where we are today?
The opportunity came in 2016. A guy named Ash Bowers, who's my manager now. He found me singing at this little hole in the wall place in Franklin, Tennessee. It's a place called Puckett's Grocery Store. It's a grocery store, a restaurant, and a music venue all in one. It was the most country redneck thing. I ever seen in my life. Like, this thing is weird, but I love it. They got some of the best pulled pork you ever have in your life.
Wow.
But Ash found me there, and then it was kind of that was an opportunity that I needed. You know, he was able to kind of take my music and my talent to the next level as far as exposure goes. So we started writing songs. Then after that, he set up a label showcase. And then I signed with BMG after that, and we started getting to work. So it was took 10 years for me to get a record deal. Um, and but it was worth it. It was there was some frustrating times where I was just like, man, what is happening? But I never gave up. You know,
What do you think it was? What single do you think is the song that helped put you on the map for all of us to go, damn, Jimmie's a badass?
I think Best Shot for sure. My
Yeah.
first one. I think my first single. I didn't want to waste an opportunity. I didn't know if that would be my last one. So even though Best Shot was a ballad, and a lot of people say sometimes you shouldn't go with a ballad your first single, but I'm like, when the ballad is good, it's good.
Exactly.
You know what I
That's
mean?
old school. That's old
Yeah,
school.
yeah. When it's good, it's good, and I was really confident. I was willing to bet my career on that song.
One of the things that I love when I've watched your performances is the way you look and the way you dress. You are glitz and glamour. You actually, it's funny. When I watch you, I think of if Rick James did country, that would be
Rick
you. Like
James.
you have this so. Where did that come about? Because a lot of people end up just doing and not knocking them with the hat and the jeans, or whatever. You bring in the glitz with what you do, man, and there's a style to it.
Man, I'm a fan of fashion. A lot of my favorite artists, had some sense of fashion from, Elton John
Yeah.
to, Bono from U2, Michael Jackson, Prince, and even older days in country music in the '70s when guys wore those suits but they had rhinestones all over them. I like that. It's fun. It's it's a I love it, but it's also a way to it's an attention getter. If people never heard of you, it's a way to get their attention for 10 seconds. And for me, 10 seconds is long enough for me to start singing some song when it comes to entertaining when I'm on stage to make you want to stay. Because, see, that's the thing as a new artist, if you walk on stage, nobody's ever heard of you, why should they stay there and listen? Even before the music starts. So, one, I want to pique their interest before I even start singing. Like when they see the big hats and the loud jackets and the boots and the chains, they're like, wait, what? What? By the time they figure out what's happening, you punch them in the face with a song. You know what I mean? So that's kind of just a mixture between it's what I love and it's entertainment.
Absolutely. And when we talk about entertainment too, awards, nominations, award performances, what is that like for you when you're walking the red carpet? Your name is nominated and you're out there and you perform with some of the best artists, whether it be country or any genre. What's that feeling like for you, man?
It's a great feeling, because I look at it more of, you know, seeing the benefits of your work, you know, but also I can't shut my work brain off. I also look at award show performances and red carpet as marketing. It's marketing to get my name out there to get people to listen to my music and come to my shows. That's how I look at everything, marketing. Same thing right now with this interview. Because to get people to learn my name, come to shows, and buy some music. You know, so it's hard for me to shut the business brain off. But again, when people hear you or see you for the first time, how do you keep their attention? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I think that's a question. I was watching some sort of interview on YouTube with who was it? Man, who was it? Who was it? Who was it? I can't remember, but it was this '90s singer. I'm trying to remember who it was, but he was saying, how do you keep people's attention? How do you make them not want to turn the channel? And that's how you should look at every time you step on stage, every interview, everything, because there are going to be people that come across your name and your music and your image that never heard of you. So how do you get them to not turn their channel?
It's good advice, man. Good advice. So you talked a little bit about this is how you market your music. This is the stage. What is the new album called, my friend? And what is the album about? How does it represent your part of your career today? What are the songs and, of course, collaborations? This is a great album.
Thank you. So my new album that's out right now is called Bettie James Gold Edition. It's an album full of collaborations. I named the album after my late father and my late grandmother. I wanted to have an album just an album full of collaborations. Some of their favorite artists and my favorite artists. So you got Tim McGraw on there, Brad Paisley, Babyface, Pitbull, Nelly, Keith Urban, Charlie Pride, Darius Rucker, Mickey Guyton, Breland, Lindsay L. That's a lot. There's a lot on there. Lanco, Low Cash. And it was fun, and it's I got Monica, Little Big Town. It's one of my albums where I purposely wanted to make an album to where no matter what genre of music is your favorite, there's a song for you on there. So you have country songs, you have pop songs, you have R&B songs, you have, rock sounding songs, and you got, Christian sounding songs. So it's kind of like a playlist, kind of what I call it. It's something for everybody on that album.
And and the thing is, and I've actually talked about this with other artists too, the people and the art, the music that you've picked for this, especially when it comes to the R&B, hip hop, and country. I've always said that hip hop and country are the best storytellers. And the fact that usually country artists will do maybe one collaboration song with a hip hop artist. I think this is the first time where I'm hearing a full album of lots of this. Am I right on that ascension? Because I don't know any other artist like yourself who's done this.
Yeah, I don't think it's been done. I have to check my sources.
Yeah,
I don't think it's been done. You can fix that in post. Yeah, I don't think it's been done. For me, it was just I wanted to create an album that I loved, an album that no matter your walk of life, you could find something here for you.
Well, look, my friend, I know we're gonna have to wrap this up, but I got to ask you very quickly too. Children's book. You have a children's book?
Yeah, it's called My Voice is a Trumpet. It's out right now. It's a book about just teaching children to use their voice, to encourage themselves, encourage other people. But also when you see things happening they shouldn't, and you want to say something, kind of give them the courage to stand up and speak up for themselves.
Amazing. Jimmie, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. I'm crossing fingers that you come to Toronto, come to Ontario, and perform down here. Don't forget, we got Boots and Hearts, and that's a massive festival.
I played that in like 2018, I think.
Oh, wow.
2018.
I was there.
I just started when I played that.
Wow. I'm so sorry that we missed each other then, man, but I'm hoping that you come back and we can do it again. My brother, thank you so much for the interview. Thanks for the great music. And like I said, hopefully we'll see you soon. You take care.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you.